Well, good. What is it? Oh, good. I can still say greetings, greetings, greetings to everyone wherever you are. If it's morning, if it's afternoon, if it's evening, I want to say good evening, greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm so glad to be here with you as I was sitting here and just trying to get some things done. And I looked up at the time and I was like, I kept saying in my mind, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. So then I came in and we had an outage on Sunday. So everything hasn't been working the way it should. So I was over here and I was trying to put a background up. It wouldn't work. I was trying to create some stuff. It wouldn't work. And I was like, look, let me just go live and I'll come back and try to figure out what's going on. But my name is Leslie Montgomery, and this is Leslie's Lessons Learned. You are tuned into Moment of Inspiration today, and I just want to continue to encourage you to look up. Don't look down. When you're looking down, you miss a whole lot. And that's one thing that this society is missing. They're missing a lot of things and going to miss a lot of things because they're just in their phones. And I don't know if you remember the time when the children were not just children, adults too, so busy in their phone, crossing the street, getting hit, so busy in their phones, walking into water fountains, just different stuff. And that's the design the design of our culture, or not even our culture. It's designed to keep our children from recognizing and understanding what's going on. And can I also say us? When sometimes you go in to look for one thing, and before you know it, it's an hour later, and what you needed to get done hasn't gotten done because you were preoccupied. That's a word right there. The enemy seeks to keep us preoccupied. That's his job, to keep us preoccupied. Listen, can I encourage you today? We are told we are not ignorant of his devices, we're not ignorant of his strategy, and his strategy is to keep you here. You don't know what's going on around you, what's going on around you. You don't know what the government is doing. You don't even know what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community, because we're here and we're not paying attention. So today, I'm just going to read Psalms 8 and the third and fourth verse, and it says, "When I consider thy heavens, the works of thy hands, what you have created and what you have done, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained." Hallelujah. He says, what is it that thou art mindful of him? In other words, man. Listen, can I tell you today that he is mindful of you? That, just like, what's that scripture in the New Testament? It talks about he even knows the hair on the birds, and that if the number of hairs that's on the bird, how much more would he be concerned about you? And so I want you to stay encouraged and realize that the same person that made the heavens and the earth, the same person that has caused you to be in a place where to think about it. The writer was thinking about it. He said, when I consider, literally, figuratively, numerously, application, direct or imply, when I consider, advise, appear, approve, when I think, and the songwriter says, on the goodness, and I'm going to say Yahweh, we know Jesus, and all, I'm going to say Yahweh has done, well, let me rephrase that. When I think of the goodness of Yeshua, which is Jesus and all how he went to the cross on my behalf. And that was no little thing. But if I go back to in the beginning, when Elohim created the heavens and the earth, when I think about the mind blowing, the can't even comprehend what that was like to begin to create a heavens and to begin to put the stars in the sky and the moon in the sky and to put it intentionally where it belonged, that we could always see his glory and understand his glory, understand who he is. That even it says that the works of his hand, when we think of the works of his hands, when we think of man and we think of Adam and the works of the Father's hand and how he created Adam from the beginning of time. Yes, I'm saying from the beginning of time. After he put everything in position, he made sure that the food was there. The trees had fruit on it. He made sure that the rivers was flowing and rubbing. He made sure that everything that was beautiful for him and in place for him before he even created him. And he says, only thing I need you to do is take care of what I've given you. How many of us are taking care of what he's given us? How many of us are allowing, appreciating what he has given you? So just think about it. He's given us the heavens and the earth declare his glory. It says that the writer says, I consider thy heavens, my goodness, and the works of thy hands. When I think about it, when I sit down, I take a moment, I take that deep breath, that gift that you have given me, and I begin to think of how good you are. When I begin to think how much greater you are than I am, I can't put moon in the sky. I can't put stars and I can't even create them to put them where they belong. My mind can't even fathom what that looks like because of his goodness and his mercy. He said he put those things in place to remind us. It says that they're for signs and wonders, but to remind us of his goodness. Oh, I want you to remember today how good he is. How he did those things for us. He didn't do it for himself. He did it for us, that we would always be in remembrance of who we serve, how awesome he is, how majestic he is. That the world wants you to forget who he is. The world wants you to think that he never existed, but we can look around and the trees always up, their arms is up unless there's a storm. And like I was looking at the trees here, we had the ice storm and their leaves was late and was hanging down. But on the contrary, the everyday look upon the trees, look upon how does the grass don't grow down, it grows up. Flowers don't ground, the flowers die in the ground and then they rise again. Everything is up, looking up. And I want you today to look up, don't look down, don't miss the creation that causes you to say, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. Oh, I will boast boast in the Lord, to give him homage, to be in a place to realize that if it had not been for the Lord on your side, where would you be? So as you go through today and as you continue, as Psalms 8 says, and the writer says, when I just think about it, the heavens, the works of thy hands, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. He put his signature on it. He didn't just put it into place, he put his signature on it. So when he put his signature on it, it was like a stamp of approval. He appointed the moon, the seasons, the sun, knowing his going down. Scriptures tell us who he is and how wonderful he is. He created us in his likeness and in his image. When he created us, he said he made us fearfully and wonderfully made. It was right, it was well right with him. So verse 4 says, for is man, what is man that thou art mindful? He didn't forget about you. He has not forgotten about you. I want you to keep your head up. I want you to press on. And I want you to understand. It says, this the part of that says, and the Son of Man that thou visiteth him. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Can I tell you that it tells us in verse 5, for thou hast made him a little lower than the angels. We got it going on, whether you realize it or not, and has crowned him with glory and honor. Wait a minute now. He put the stars in the sky. He put the moon in the sky. He created heaven and earth. And he why would he not want to think about you, which he also created? And when we seek his face, we have a reward. It says it has crowned him with glory and honor. And we know that he crowned his son with glory and honor when he went to the cross. But we have promises. We have crowns out there that belong to us. There's stones that go in our crowns when we follow and do the will of the Father. So today, I only come on here to say, he is mindful of you. Don't take him for granted. He's the one that created you. He's the one that put the stars in the sky, put the moon in the sun, made the heavens and the earth, parted the seas, and separated uh, the land from the water so that crops could grow, that you would not be without. He loves you so much. And just like he loves you, he promises to provide for you. Or should I say, he's going to show himself faithful. He's going to show himself faithful. So as you go through today, and like I said, only came on for a few minutes, as you go through today, just remember, consider all these things that he did even before he said, I'll put a man on the earth. He made sure everything was in the right place, everything was in position, everything was he put there. He was so intentional. Everything was placed where it needed to be placed intentionally. You're here on this earth right now. You were born for this time intentionally to help build the kingdom. So as we go about, it's not about us. We reap the benefits of what he's doing, but it's about the kingdom. We've got to be about our Father's business. When Mary came looking for him, she was like, son, where? He was like, oh, I'm about my Father's business. I got work to do. And so do you. Keep your head up. Don't get caught up in that phone so much that you miss everything that's going on around you. And until we meet again, have an amazing day. And remember, I love you. I can never love you like Yahweh. He loves you unconditionally. Be blessed.